What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to my monthly Patreon update video. This is my monthly update video where I can just kind of let you know what's going on with the channel, and also do a Q&A where I can answer some of your questions. The whole point of the video is to thank you for your support, and also just give a special thank you to all those who donate. By the way, I'm rolling some older footage of a Deadlock team in the background. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the questions. Our first set of questions comes from Agent Snorri. He says, "Why did you not answer my question from last month?" Well, to be honest, I must not have seen it. Secondly, he asks, "How are you doing?" Well, I'm doing fine. How about yourself? And lastly, he says, "Can I get a special thank you where my name is huge on the screen?" Well, I suppose I can do that. And now let's move on to some more serious questions. Seraph1 asks, "Hi King, what's your impression about Bishop and Shatterstar? They seem not bad, but I never see them in PvP. To be honest with you, I always thought Bishop was more trouble than he was worth. With his EISO, he's definitely improved, and I have heard from others that he's worth using. I for one am still not sold on him, and you're not going to find me using him anytime soon. Shatterstar, on the other hand, I think is a good character, and I've liked him since he was released. The main thing I like about him is if there's an infiltrator on the other team, you can single target attack them, and then his follow-up will be an AoE. Plus, he can do very nice DPS, and I probably will use him in some sort of Swordmaster team-up, possibly in a future Team Spotlight episode." Next, Skyver Ultima asks, "King, I'd like to hear your theories on who would benefit best from becoming one of the worthy. She-Hulk and Luke Cage are already named, and we're getting 5 more. Well, I'll be honest with you, I always wanted to read Fear itself, but I didn't. So admittedly, I'm kind of lost on this one, and I will have to look up the hammers. Alright, so I may be completely wrong on this, but I think Colossus could be either Kurth or Null. At first I was leaning towards Null, Breaker of Worlds, but now I'm kind of thinking Kurth, Breaker of Stone. But either way, I think Colossus is one character that could really benefit. I don't know, maybe Red Hulk could be the Breaker of Worlds, even though that's kind of taking an easy way out. Okay, scratch that. While doing research, I read that Luke Cage is going to be Null, which truthfully I did not remember reading. Then I would definitely love to see Namor in the game, and him be the Breaker of Oceans. So that leaves Breaker of Wills and Breaker of Faith. Well, for those final 2 spots, let's just pull for some heroes like Spider-Woman and Black Cat, because I think they could use something extra. Okay, so that was a very hard question. Let's hope the next one is easier. Calvin asks, "What's your opinion on Deadpool and his ult? Is he better in default or his ults? And what EISO would you use?" Well, that one can be answered in multiple ways. Because Deadpool in his default costume is pretty great, you can use both of his character-specific EISO. However, his Uncanny X-Force costume is amazing because it has Boon Buster. Plus, he'll give that to other Uncanny X-Force members. Personally, I like his alternate better, and as far as using an EISO, I would use his Resurrect one. That would be the Spicy Empowered ISO weight. Don't get me wrong, there is an upside to using his other EISO. The protecting and DPS difference is great and all, but that difference isn't going to matter if he's dead. But then there's even another concern, and that happens to be Brutal Strike. So at least on defense, maybe you want to use the other one. It really is kind of a toss-up. The next question comes from the Elite Josh. He has 2 questions. First, is Rocket Raccoon worth buying? And I have to say yes. But having his Generalist movie ult really improves him as far as PvP. And the second question was, did I see the Guardians movie? Yes, I did end up seeing it, and it was amazing. Definitely one of my favorite Marvel movies yet. In fact, I really want to see it again, and I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. Okay, so now I'm going to try to fit in 2 more questions, and then we're going to wrap up the video. On Bow, I think that's how you would say it, asks, "Which EISO and AISO would you recommend for a non-gold buyer?" Well, right away I can tell you which 2 came to mind for each category. For EISO, the Quick and Inspiring. The Quick Empowered ISO 8 for Tacticians that makes a buff action a quick action, well, it's basically a game changer. So I would definitely recommend getting that one. Secondly, the Inspiring Empowered ISO 8 for Generalists. It gives your entire team morale boost. Hopefully you already have the Generalist Empowered Armor, so that's a perfect EISO to get. Then as far as AISO, the ones that came to mind are the Pulverizing and the Ionizing. There are plenty of others, and it really does depend on who you plan using, but the Pulverizing makes a huge difference for any melee attackers, and the Ionizing is amazing for any energy attacks. especially AoE attacks. But obviously if you're using someone like a ground attacker, you're going to want the Erupting A-ISO. Or likewise, you'll want the Maddening Augmented ISO 8 for any psychic attackers. Then moving on to the final question for this video, Federico Garcia asks, first, is the synthetic cube coming out again? And also, how about the Neurotrope? I think that both of these will be released again, but it's probably going to be quite some time. And secondly, are 64 gold weapons worth the price? This really does depend on the weapon, and oftentimes they aren't. If they are, you can bet that I'll make a video on them, so just stay tuned. Alright, so now we're finally at the thank you portion, and first I want to thank AJ Designs. Without Jameson, I wouldn't have so many of the amazing graphics and thumbnails that are on my channel. Next, I want to thank Hayden, another member of the graphics team. He not only has made graphics, he also makes amazing intros. And speaking of that, I do want to thank Sniper, who's made the intro on all my new videos. You can check out his channel in the description below. Lastly, I want to thank my friend and the creator of this graphic, Agent Danny. Your help is greatly appreciated. And now, moving on to the Agents of the Hour. A very special thank you goes out to all my patrons. You really have helped keep this channel going. I couldn't do it without your support. So for that, I would like to thank Agent Seraph 1, Akam Dead, D. Ross, Kurt, Josh, and Nadem. Followed by Agent Jesse, Runner Beast, Joshua G, Nuke, Freedom, and Billy. Agent Sputang, Larry, Dan, Cuts, Michael, and Paul. Followed by Agente de Leo, Agent Michael F, Cold, Solomon, Monty, and Snorri. And then last but certainly not least, Agents Michael R, Sean, Maxwell, Aaron, and Philip. Thank you to all my patrons, and if you'd like to become one, it only takes $1 a month. Just go and visit patreon.com/thekingfisher745. Even a $1 donation is very much appreciated, and it really does help me out. Also, if you'd like to support the channel in other ways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos. Those small acts really do go a long way. So once again, I thank all of you for your support, and I hope you continue watching. Until next time, good luck, and take care.